a lot of people are asking about questions about, breaking in the industry, what certifications, what's some of your recommendations? If I'm going to start out in cybersecurity, what should I look at? Like, should I look at some junior certification? Should I look at working for a company? What's your process?
Certifications are good, and I'll talk about those in a moment, but
Mhm.
nothing beats experience.
Okay.
And now I'm going to tell you, having a technical background, you already have some experience. If you're working in technology, you have some applicable experience. And sometimes it's a slight cop out, but sometimes it's a mindset issue. So, example, I had somebody come through one of my classes, and he had worked in a crypto lab for an intelligence organization, a government organization. He was coming close to retirement, and he was like, I want to get into infosec, but I don't have any experience. Like, how do I get experience? Like, dude, you've worked in a cryptography lab for 17 years. You have experience, whether you think you do or not.
Right.
You have experience. So sometimes it's just mindset. I know with my first job, I just started doing security things.
Okay.
I was actually, one of the things I did was I was writing a Unix class. Now we're talking back in the 80s, late 80s.
Right.
And I was like, this really needs to have some information in it on stability and robustness.
Okay.
And my manager at the time, it was my first job out of school, was like, you don't have enough time to do that. And I was like, yes, I do. And it's important. It should be here. And that was security experience. I have another friend who was a sysadmin, and among other things, he was administering the accounts, the identity and access management, and so forth. He's like, I don't have any security experience. Like, yeah, you do. So sometimes it's mindset, okay?
Right.
And having that technical background, you certainly you don't lie, but like you're probably doing some security related things,
Right.
okay? Which you simply highlight both in any interview and in your CV or resume, as they say. I think only in the US, I'm not sure.
Right.
Now, as far as certifications are definitely becoming more important.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no question that as a newer person, younger, less experienced, and so forth, certifications and degrees matter more. When you're older, it doesn't matter nearly as much. I know we have a mutual friend, Dr. Eric Cole.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous of Eric. I tell him all the time because he finished his doctorate. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't quit. I left to go play with computers. I got a job, and I was going to come back after a year or two max and finish. Does anyone care that I don't have my doctorate now? No. Coming out of school, would it have mattered? Yeah, I probably would have gotten hired at a higher salary, for sure.
Right.
Now, in terms of certifications, the big certification you can't get if you're brand new necessarily is the CISSP.
Right.
Right? That's the best known. It's the one that's been around the longest. We could argue whether it's the best, but it's the best known. It simply is.
Right.
That's just a fact, whether we like it or not. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Nobody asks me if I'm certified these days.
Okay.
They just don't. Every once in a while on a project after I've been working for a while, they will ask me. I had a project ended last year, and near the end, maybe the last month or two, they're like, hey, Ted, do you have a CISSP or a GSEC or something like that? And I said, like, yeah, why? I got all those. They said, oh, well, we want somebody with one of those to sign the final report. And that was probably for legal.
Right.
Now, directly on the lines of, how do you get experience?
Right.
With CISSP, they want you to have 5 years of experience, and some of those years you can substitute an advanced degree for. So you could do like 4 years in a degree or something, a college degree.
Right.
And it's interesting what they consider to be experience in security. Let's say you're a programmer. Like programmers, most programmers aren't really into security. I used to be a programmer, right? It slows things down. And programmers are smart people. They want to do a great job, right? They're typically proud, and they should be. But security tends to slow things down. And I've never been on a development project that wasn't over budget and late.
Right.
Never, never. But if you've worked in programming, that counts as experience for the CISSP.
Okay.
Let's say you're some sort of a network engineer. Let's say, networking and security, those two groups don't always get along. That counts as experience for them.
Right.
So you might be able to get a CISSP. That experience might count.